Sydney, can you tell me about your Genius Hour project? Everything from creating your idea to the actual project you implemented.
Um, okay, so I started out and everybody was like, "Oh, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing." And I was like, "I don't." And so um I kind of like started like just getting my stuff together and um I am really obnoxious when it comes to giving people things, not because like I feel like I need something back, but I feel like I need to watch them very like I need to watch them open it because I love it. I love giving people things. That's like my favorite thing ever. And so, you can't really do that for a Genius Hour, so you have to come up with like something like something to give for them. So I decided that I would do art to give to others instead of like doing it for my own pleasure. Because I mean, like I did art because it was my what I like to do, but I also did it because I like to give things to other people. Then, so then that started going, and I was doing really good, like with all the blogs, with all the. My goal was one project a week, and like the weeks that I was sick or the weeks that my mentor was sick, my mentor is my aunt, by the way. I wouldn't be able to get it done. So those were some of the harder weeks, but I always made sure to give it to people who did not expect it. Like I made pots for teachers, and I did just different things for different people. And then like my biggest give back, I think, was I made soap for old people, and that was really awesome because it's really hard. But and you make it like the molds and stuff, and it's really cool. And then I also created coloring pages for kids um, whose parents are like in jail, and they like at the normal police station they have a room for kids, and so they used my coloring pages there. So that's pretty cool.
So can you speak to about your research? Like, what did you actually research? Did you research art? Did you research the reaction? Like the
Um,
psychology behind giving something to someone?
I
What did you
did
research?
I did kind of both. Um, I so my main thing was like my mentor. We met a lot more than other people would. Like whenever I would do my projects, I was at her house and she was helping me. So I learned like a lot of things through that, like ways to like well, like ways to like use the utensils that you have in art, and like different ways to make the what was the word um like different textures and things and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we also did like research on like the type of art that I was creating. Like I would create a mask one week, and then I would do watercolor, and then I would do collages and color schemes and all that stuff. And then I also I remember mentioning this in one of my blogs. Um, my goal was like I know that making art for I know that whenever I get things unexpected, I will probably like tear up because I love it so much. Um, and so I wanted that to happen to other people. And I read this article. I don't know what it was on, but not Wikipedia.
Okay.
No, but it was saying how um, even if you're not good at it, art can make you feel good. Like it doesn't have to be pretty as long as you're getting your emotions out. That's like what I wanted to say. Like this might not look the best, but I did it, so then you can go and do it and you can feel better sometimes.
Okay.
Like when you're having a bad day.
Kind of like a therapy, so
Yeah.
to speak. Okay. What, if anything, do you know now that you didn't know before because of inquiry?
Um because of inquiry, I can I can do a lot of stuff that I didn't think that I could like um I can just do things like I don't know, like whenever I came into my 8th grade year, I was like spoon-fed things, and then we do the inquiry process, and now I can think so many different things and do so many different things with my thoughts and all that stuff.
Can you give me an example of this differentiation
between.
Well, you see, you came in and you said, I learned so much more stuff, and I can do so much more stuff. What does that stuff mean, like, for as an example?
Like with, like, Monster and the Genius Hour, if I was doing this with a different teacher, they would be, like, looking over my shoulder, like, do this, do this, do this. And then whenever with you, it was, like, you can, like, you were just encouragement and not, like, doing it for me, and that was, like, really, really nice, and that helped me learn a lot more.
Okay. What, if anything, can you do now that you couldn't do before inquiry?
Define inquiry again. I need to remember it.
Inquiry is the process where we had to, like, critically think about questions, whether in a topic. We had our book Monster, where we went forward in asking questions still of the unknown about the text, and we determined as a class out of those questions a theme, and then from that theme we generated a campaign. Your Genius Hour takes on a similar inquiry process where you wanted to create a topic or think about a topic. You had questions, you researched, and then you acted on that research.
Okay, so like
So the question is again, what, if anything, can you do now that you couldn't do before going through this process?
I can totally, like, relate to it's not language, it's biology. Whenever I take a biology test, it's not what's on the study guide. It's you have to think, and you have to make your, like, you have to, like, you can study for it on the Quizlet, the study guide, whatever. But when you get in there and he gives you your test, it's not what was on there, but it's like an idea of what was on there. And so you have to use your, like, what you learned and, like, go off of that, kind of like that.
So give me an example of, like, when that would have clicked with you during Genius Hour and or our Monster unit. When did you get that?
Like, get that I can...
That critical thinking aspect. When did you get it?
I don't remember.
Is there a specific time where a light bulb really turned on for you?
Kind of whenever we did, like, I know that Olivia Trask and I, we created that website, and on that website there were no, like, guidelines of what we had to do. And that's whenever we got together and said, we need to include this, mm-hmm. Onto the website, or things like that. Or, like, for the blogs, you would give us kind of like this, not like a format, but like, this is what you're going to write about this week. And I could take those 2 sentences and not answer both of the questions like some people did. I would do that and then just go on, because I could think of, like, so much stuff to say about it.
Okay. How did technology impact your thinking throughout the inquiry experience?
It made my projects a lot easier. I just used it, like, if I could, I would totally use it, like the computer or like the iPad or something, because it without it, like, people, like, you printed off articles and stuff, but we got to, like, go into depth about those things. Like, whenever we did the Monster, it was about this boy who went to jail for something that he says he didn't do. And, well, not jail, but, I don't know. Okay, anyways, he did, and that was the story. And then we go off, and we're, like, talking about gangs, and we're talking about the life in prison and all that stuff. And so, without those thoughts, we wouldn't be able to use the technology that we did to create those amazing things that we did.
So would you say that you grew a comfort with technology because of going through this process?
Yeah. I used to just not like it. Like, I just thought that computers, no, I want to write on paper. Like, actually, I'm really, really good at typing, so here we go. No. No, I just really, really, I value it, because there's so many things on there that you can't find in a I don't know. Yeah.
How has that translated to your current school year, this comfort with technology?
I'm starting to do things for myself now. Like the teachers will say, "Here's your written study guide," and I'm like, "Nope, time to get a Quizlet," or something like that. um, I mean, like I will turn what I'm supposed what I'm doing into something that has to do with technology and like finding things on there, and it makes like research papers and all that stuff like a lot easier because I know what to look at and I know what to find and all that stuff.
I personally feel you're a very creative person, but sometimes creativity in the school setting can become disconnected. How do you feel that your creativity was challenged or maybe flourished? That might be a better word to use during this inquiry experience.
Well, I think that like that question depends on the teacher. Like, okay, if you were my teacher, I probably wouldn't have been able to have so much freedom in doing the inquiry process on like in both the Monster and the Genius Hour. I think that was like a big factor in it.
Where did you see creativity the most for yourself throughout any of that time? Like an example.
Well, okay, so for Genius Hour, my first project I cried for like 2 hours while doing it. I was like, I just don't like this, and she's not gonna like it. And then I was like a mess, and my aunt's like, you just need to calm down. It's okay. And then I gave it to the girl who I made it for, and she really loved it. And like, I just realized that you can just, I mean, like whenever I do art or something for other people now, I don't feel as bad doing it. Like, you should feel really great when you do art, but I felt really bad while doing art. I mean, like, it was like, I was like, oh, God. And I go to my aunt's house, okay, here we go. But now it's just like, it's really great. I like to do it, and it's really nice to give to other people. But how I like, where I felt like I don't really know where I felt like creatively, yeah, kind of. Like, I didn't know where I really felt that, and then I realized that I was doing art, so that's very creative. But when I started thinking outside of the box, that's whenever it started happening. Like even in Monster, I guess, like, people were doing, like, different posters, or, like, an app, not an app, like a page, like an Instagram page, and I was like, let's do a website. This would be cool. And so we spent, like, I don't know how many weeks working on that website, and it looked great. So, I mean, like, that's just going outside of the box and doing what other people aren't doing is probably going to be a lot more fun than following the norm.
Okay. Let's talk about that great feeling that you had, especially with that website, from what I'm hearing. You're a person you're a student who values grades and A's.
Yes.
How did this experience help you kind of work around that? Because at the end of the day, did it just mean about the grade, or did it mean something more to you? And if it did, why?
It was your class when I started not caring about, like, my grade. Like, I am going to do what I love, which I love to write and I love to read. That's my favorite. Like, going into language class every morning now I'm like, I love it. So I started to find more like, because before I was just like writing to get a good grade, and now I'm writing to say what I feel and to show how much I love it, because it's not, you get that A and you're like, oh, cool, A, gonna go to college. No, like,
right.
you get that whatever grade and you feel like amazing because what you wrote about is what you